Welcome back to Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2. Let me get my companions.
Me?
I'm searching for my friends.
You will find them in the main irrigation channel room, in the northern part of the plateau interior. The particle emitters there that once governed the flow of water to Telos can double as force cages.
So, then shut them off and free them.
It is not part of my duties. Free them yourself. Then you must leave this place.
Why did you imprison them?
They were caged for their safety, until we could determine your intent, exile. Atris cautioned us against your tactics, fearing that your allies would create a distraction. Your companions gave us little trouble, however. The male could have presented some challenge if he had resisted, but he chose not to.
What? Who? Atton?
He has had some Echani training. He masks it well, but when you are in danger, his mask dropped into a stance we know well.
Where would he have gotten that training?
I do not know. The Echani forms are known to be taught to military special forces throughout the galaxy. If the source is a mystery to you, perhaps you should ask him. It would be wise to know those you travel with.
The Ebon Hawk, where is it?
Your ship is stored in the hangar. Atris has given you permission to leave this place, and permission to return if you remain in her service.
Okay.
You may ask.
I had some questions about Atris.
The mistress? What of her?
Has she always been a stuck-up bitch? Where is Atris? I want to speak to her again.
She's meditating, and she does not wish to be disturbed. Your presence here has troubled her, and I hope you do not choose to trouble her further.
What can you tell me about her?
She leads us. As she rebuilds Telos, she rebuilds the Order, and through them, the galaxy.
And how does she plan to do that?
We serve the Jedi. We do not question them. Yet, Atris has told us that the work here at Telos may pay for similar efforts in many worlds along the rim that were destroyed when the Jedi turned on each other. She has said the Jedi Order needs such a foundation if it is to rebuild. She faults the teaching of many of the Jedi Masters as the spark of the Jedi Civil War. Atris has said that if Revan and Malak had been properly instructed in the ways of the Jedi, they never would have fallen, and nor would you, exile.
And what does Atris consider proper training?
That is unknown to me. I have never observed Atris to teach Jedi, nor would I wish to. Atris has chosen instead to focus her efforts on galactic recovery. Once the galaxy breathes again, disciples will come.
She'll need help if she tries. She knows nothing about training Jedi.
She predicted you would say as much. She seems to know you quite well. Perhaps you are the one who knows nothing.
Sounds like a challenge.
I would welcome a chance to instruct you. I have been anxious to teach you many principles of combat ever since you invaded this place.
Teaching?
Oh, yes. We train extensively in various combat styles, and we have not had another target for some time. You may prove a pleasant diversion.
I could use a good sparring match.
Very well. Follow me, and we shall see if you have the endurance to learn the most basic of our teachings. Before we begin, are you familiar with Echani traditions?
Does it have anything to do with why you wanted me to disrobe?
All duels between us shall be without armor of any kind. There shall be no restrictions upon our movements or upon yours. Your feet are not to leave the training mat during the battle. If they do, you will lose. Also, this is not a fight to the death. Restrain your instincts when we fight, and we shall do the same.
I understand. Sand man, no armor, no striking to kill.
The fight will be with hands and feet only. No stimulants, shields, weapons, or other items. Also, do not call upon any Jedi techniques during our contest. If you do, then the battle will be over. In turn, I will not use our higher forms, for this is only an opening battle between us, a test of each other's strength.
If you're ready, so am I.
Then let us begin.
This shall be easy.
Yeah!
Unarmed specialist, that's what I am.
You have succeeded. If you wish, you may challenge us again, and we will progress to more advanced movements.
Let me heal up.
Seek one of us out when you wish.
Yeah.
Have you returned to fight again?
I wish to challenge you.
Very well. Our next battle will be using the higher forms among the Ichani. You may choose hands and feet, or whatever melee weapon you wish, but use no other items or Jedi techniques. Seek one of...
Alright, first off, I'm gonna get my companions. Then everything else. There you are.
Did you find what you came for?
A woman from my past has made this place her home. I did not expect to see her again.
I felt as much. Quite strongly, in fact. I suspected there was something from your past here, something unresolved. I feel we did not come to this place by chance. You were led here. This woman who resides here, she did something to you once, something that hangs upon you still.
She was one of the council who cast me out of the order, and wanted to punish me even further.
I see it now. The act has left its marks. Be warned, unresolved events from our past can create wounds in the present and the future. And more importantly, they can distract you, weaken you. It could prove fatal against the enemies we face.
Are you done? No, the woman here is a Jedi. Atris, one of the council.
There is a Jedi here, perhaps, in that you are correct. Yet there are no students, and this woman, this Atris, surrounds herself with those who cannot feel the Force. Curious.
Aren't the Handmaidens students?
No, her servants are not Jedi. Their minds are walls, trained to resist tricks of the mind. This discipline blinds them to the Force as well, even if they were Force-sensitive.
Did you try to use Jedi mind tricks on them?
Invade the mind of another. It is not something done carelessly, or when there is nothing to be gained.
Atris plans to heal the galaxy, then rebuild the order.
Plans are fragile things, and life often dashes expectations to the ground. Perhaps students will come to her in time. For now, she is surrounded by those who cannot feel the Force.
We may be able to gather students and allies on our journey. Let's go.
Very well. Let us depart.
Is Aton okay? He looks out cold.
He's only sleeping. It seems the journey here has fatigued him.
Alright then, let me free you.
I am sorry, General. I must have lost consciousness in the crash.
There's nothing to apologize for. Are you sure you're okay?
I'm fine, General. Even power has been restored to my arm. What is this place? Where are we?
A Jedi Academy concealed on the northern pole of Telos.
This must be where I had detected the energy readings before, and the drain to the restoration shields. This room, this place, it looks part of a huge polar irrigation system, possibly planet-wide, like the one on Coruscant. I had been told by the Republic that it was not in use.
Are you well enough to travel?
I am, General. If you wish, I may travel with you, or join you at the ship.
Meet me at the ship and prep it for launch. We are leaving as soon as we can.
Very well, General. I will await your arrival.
Okay. Let me equip a weapon then. Yeah, that should do just fine. Let's see what can be stolen here. Alright. So, part of the planet's irrigation system. The council chamber. And beyond. Meeting chamber. Meditation chamber. Meditation chamber for only one person. Okay. Physical. Saves, dexterity. Maybe I should equip these. I mean, having free saves is probably really good. They all have quarters.
Have you returned to fight again?
I wish to challenge you again.
Very well. I shall honor your request. Our next battle will be using the higher forms among the Ichani. You may choose hands and feet, or whatever melee weapon you wish, but use no other items or Jedi techniques.
Alright.
Then let us begin.
We'll stand not much of a chance, to be honest.
You have succeeded. If you wish, you may challenge us again, and we will progress to more advanced movements. Seek one.
Okay.
Have you returned to fight?
Yes.
Very well. I shall honor your request. Our next battle shall be free of restriction on weapons and items, and you may use whatever technique, Jedi or otherwise, you wish to attempt to defeat me. In turn, I will spare none of our forms against you. Then let us begin. You know much of melee combat. You surprise me.
Let me heal up.
There is nothing more that we can teach you from such contests. Such battle would only be for battle's sake.
If you cannot defeat me alone, feel free to pair up.
If that is what you wish, then we shall honor it. We shall see how you fight against a group of us. We shall take you in a pair, using everything at our disposal. Use whatever item, weapon, or Jedi technique you wish. We shall match it. Seek... Have you returned to... There... Then let us begin.
Alright, time to equip my armor. Hopefully this will work.
You have fallen. There is nothing.
That didn't work as well as I would have liked.
Have you returned? There is... Where you... Then... You are a strong opponent. Atris was correct about you. You know much of war and battle. Perhaps too much.
So you admit defeat?
I admit nothing. The Ichani stand together. To defeat one or two of us says nothing of how a true battle would go.
Then let me catch my breath and I'll be back. The next one will be very, very difficult. I'm not actually quite certain if I can win this one.
Ah, hey, you're back with us. We were just on our way to rescue you from those ghost women when, we got locked up.
Rescuing me with what? Your Achani training?
Ichani training?
Huh? What are you talking about?
When we met those handmaidens at the entrance, you dropped into an Achani combat stance. Where did you learn it?
Oh, that. Don't tell anyone, but you wouldn't believe how many fights you can prevent by just pretending to know that stuff. I mean, it doesn't compare to wearing a lightsaber, but then again, that doesn't seem to help you much.
Don't change the subject.
Yeah? So what? I don't ask any dumb questions about your past, despite the fact that it keeps throwing us into life-threatening situations. Want to know why? I figure if you ever want to tell me something, you will. So give me the same respect, alright?
I'm not accusing you.
Well, hey, thanks. But you've got the wrong guy. I'm good at shooting people, cracking wise, and pretending to know how to fight with my hands.
Whatever you say. Hey, are you okay? You don't look well.
Don't worry about me, I'm fine. How did things go with the Jedi here? Are you all done?
Not yet. I've agreed to help them.
Well, that's not exactly what I wanted to hear.
You've done enough, Atton. You can go if you want.
No, I was just complaining. I'm with you until things start going better for you. We need to stick together, you know? And who knows? I might be able to help you out of a tight spot at some point.
Thanks, Atton.
Hey, don't mention it. It's my pleasure.
Actually, let me see. Feedback. So gained, lost some influence with him.
Huh? Oh, yeah? So what? Wanna... Well, hey,
Interesting. First persuade may not work here.
What? You damn stay. Yeah, so one. Well, hey. Well, that. No, we need.
Okay. Wait, I screwed up this again. Alright. Confront him about the Achani training.
Huh?
Don't change the subject.
Yeah, wanna. Well. No, we need.
I'm wondering if it does matter in any way. Do I ultimately lose influence? Is there a way to get influence? Which just get influence? I mean, I already have a high influence with him.
Don't worry. No, we need. Ah. Ah. I don't...
Yeah.
Ah. Oh, I mean, it doesn't compare.
Don't change the subject.
Yeah? What? Well...
Well, I guess I'll just live with that. Wait.
What? Look, I'm fine, okay? I was just a little dizzy when I first woke up.
I would have thought you were Chani training.
Chani training?
Huh?
Let us keep moving. There is nothing more to be gained here.
I wanted to explore a little longer.
Very well, but we should not remain here too long.
I think I have enough influence with Atten. A rope? Okay. Let's fight then.
You are a strong opponent. Atris was correct about you. You know...
Care to back up those words?
Then our last battle shall be the 5 of us against you. Use any item, any weapon, any technique you wish. You'll need them.
Why not all 6 of you?
There is no need for the last of us to join in this fight. The weakest among us will only serve to diminish our techniques.
Ooh.
We fight as one when we are 5, not 6. And that number should be enough for this lesson.
I am ready.
Very well. We shall begin. You are... There... We are...
I think the way you do this is you use the game in order to... Okay. Let me equip that robe. Okay. See what I mean? You can really get them off the mat. There we go.
There shall be no more matches, no more challenges. There is much we have learned from you. If we meet on the field of battle, we shall be prepared.
Yes?
Okay, that works. Now, there is still Handmaiden.
You are the exile, the one Atris warned us about.
And what did she say?
She said, you betrayed the Jedi by going to war when it was forbidden to you. You turned on your masters, your teachings, and yourself.
She's exaggerating. Oh, she's just teasing you. I'm more like a sister to her.
That is not all she says. She says you know nothing of loyalty to any cause except your own animal instincts. And she told us why you fell to the dark side.
I fell to the dark side. I do not walk the path of the dark side.
Atris says that you fell to the dark side in the Mandalorian Wars when you gave in to your lust for battle. Once you tasted war, you could not give it up.
So, why didn't I keep fighting in the Jedi Civil War?
Atris says when the Dark Lord Revan returned to the Republic, you did not march with them because you had fallen so far you could no longer feel the Force.
That is untrue, but Atris is entitled to her opinion.
I believe that is the extent of her expressed feelings toward you. There are variations at times, but all rise from the same foundation.
Expressed feelings.
Yes, it is difficult sometimes for others to truly speak their heart or listen to it. The words often prove difficult, or they do not come at all.
What do you think, Atris Heart says?
Without having seen you and Atris fight, I cannot say. Battle is a pure form of expression. It is heart and discipline, reduced to movement and motion.
Well, I have no wish to fight her.
Then her expressed feelings will have to suffice.
If I fought Atris, then that might make the truth come out?
Perhaps. it may prove truer than conversing with words. In battle, the words are swept away, giving way to actions. Mercy, sacrifice, anger, fear. These are pure moments of expression.
I'd like to ask you something.
You may ask.
You look different from the other women here.
I honor the face of my mother. It is not something spoken of in the company of others.
I apologize.
There's no need to apologize. You were merely remarking on something that you saw. There is no wrong in that.
Is it a sensitive subject?
It is not a sensitive subject, but a subject that requires trust. There is no such trust between you and I, and such trust takes time. You may ask. She said that with bad. Before you go, Exile, question for you, if I may ask it. You have touched the Force. What does it feel like?
It is a difficult thing to describe.
Please, I wish to know.
The warmth of the sun without the glare. You can feel its light and its heat, but there is no harshness to it, I guess.
It is like a cloud, a mist that drifts from living creature to creature, set in motion by currents and eddies. It is the eye of the storm, the passions of all living things turned into energy, into a chorus. It is the rising swell at the end of life, the promise of new territories and new blood, the call of new mysteries in the dark.
I see. Thank you both. I appreciate you sharing your knowledge with me.
If you have any further questions in the future, seek me out and ask them.
Why have you approached me?
Do all these women look alike? Not like I'm complaining, I mean, it's interesting.
They are Ichani. It is not unusual for their children to share similar features from the same parents.
If you have a reason for approaching me, speak it. Your ship is stored in the hangar. Atris has given you permission to leave this place, and permission to return if you remain in her service.
Well, if it isn't the one who stole the Ebon Hawk. Not so smug now, are you, you little thief?
Don't be a fool. Atris stole the ship and the droid.
Says you.
They didn't memory wipe you, did they? And what? Look, I'm just glad I found you. Hold on, what information are you talking about? Why would she want what's in your memory core? You can fill me in later. Let me get you out of there first. We'll see you on the Ebon Hawk. What's with T3? Okay, what are you talking about? You downloaded it. Well, that's a nice bug.
Do you know why we have called you here?
I'm gonna skip this and then reload and... screw it. I'm gonna go for it, skip later. I came here because I chose, not because you summoned me.
As Revan summoned you, so have you come full circle to return to the Jedi.
Why did you defy us? The Jedi are guardians of the peace, and have been for centuries. This call to war undermines all that we have worked for.
Is Revan your master now? Or is it the horror you wrought at Malachor that has caused you to see the truth at last?
The truth is the Mandalorians had to be stopped, or countless more would have died.
You refuse to hear us. You have shut us out, and so have shut yourself to the galaxy.
We feel that your true understanding of what happened at Malachor 5 will only happen in time, and it cannot happen here, near the battlegrounds where you fought.
You are exiled, and you are a Jedi no longer.
There is one last thing. Your lightsaber. Surrender it to us.
Much defiance in that one.
You were correct, Katarr. When she was here, I felt it. It was as if she was not there, more like an echo.
Revan's influence has grown amongst the youngest of the Order. He speaks to their passions, not their sense. The war has touched them. Many of them have found themselves in the war against the Mandalorians.
It is as I feared, and I fear that we have played into the hands of the enemy.
We have not lost a Jedi this day. You felt it. She has lost herself. She is no Jedi. She walked Revan's path, but she was not strong enough.
I fear it is our teachings that may have led Revan to choose the path he did.
We are not the ones who taught him.
We take responsibility, Atris, not cast blame.
The choice of one was the choice of us all. Revan's teacher intended no harm, and Revan had many teachers since.
Yet they all stem from the same source. Her teachings violated the Jedi Code and lead all who listen to the dark side, as they did the exile.
You are wrong. The dark side is not what I sensed in the exile. Surely the rest of you felt it as well. That emptiness we felt. She has changed.
Whatever that wound was, it was of the dark side. We should not have let her depart. She will simply join Revan again, or perhaps worse.
What would you have done with her, Atris? Be mindful of your feelings. This is not Revan who stood before you. This one walks a different path.
No, although that may come in time. We let her go because we must. Where she travels, she carries her destination with her.
Malachor 5 should have been her grave. You saw it in her walk, and in the Force. It was as if she was already dead.
No, not death. Many battles remain for that one, if what we have seen is true. But the future is a shifting thing, and she cuts like a blade through it.
We should have told her the truth. A Jedi deserved to know.
No good would have come from it, even if what you believed was true. There is still the matter of Revan, and such truths could leave us vulnerable on two fronts.
Perhaps in many years we will call her before us and explain what happened to her, and how she may be healed. Until then, she must accept her journey.
But she may never discover the truth, and she will never know why we cast her out.
And that is the future we must accept.
Those Jedi sure like their secrets, don't they?
Is that all that there is? Atris has a list of all the missing Jedi. Display it. Tatooine, Nar Shaddaa, Onderon, Korriban, Telos. I know all of those Jedi
A
Master.
strange coincidence.
It is no coincidence. There is some larger plan at work here, and we are walking into it. This is too convenient to be anything but a trap.
We have no choice. Those Jedi know what happened to me. What?
General, is there a reason you don't carry a lightsaber anymore?
It was taken from me.
That's not your lightsaber anymore. That belonged to someone who served Revan in the wars, not the person you are now. You could build another one, if you wanted to, but you know that.
And why wouldn't I?
I don't know, General. But whatever the reason, you should put it behind you. I know this. A lightsaber is part of who you are. Without it, you're not complete.
Very well, to begin, there are some parts I'll need.
I think I can help you out there. I happen to know the parts you need.
Since when did you become an expert on lightsabers?
I spent a lot of time around Jedi during the war. None of them would let me take their lightsaber apart, but I did learn about their construction. We need a power cell, emitter matrix, lens and focusing crystal, though I have to admit the crystal is beyond my means. Never did understand them. Those parts are fairly common, though a Jedi once told me that it's best if your lightsaber reflects you, and if it is constructed of things that identify it as your own. Just bring the parts to me before you get started building it. I'll make sure they're usable.
For the last time, no. Because you're programmed to force your opponent to go first, and nothing will convince me the computer doesn't cheat. Even if I didn't have to go first and somehow I didn't suspect you of counting cards, I still wouldn't play with a trash compactor. Yeah? How many credits? Well, check it again. It can't be anything else. Just check the damn connector. I don't trust the diagnostics any more than I trust you. Because I don't like droids. They break. In the head. Well, whatever you call that thing on your head. Yeah, well, if I'm mean to you, it's because I care.
Betrayal. Machines. Her passion for such things defies me.
Got a minute?
I'm a little busy here. What is it?
Won't take more than a minute.
All right, I'll work while you talk.
Look, your friend, the Jedi, you know her from way back, don't you? How much do you know about her, really?
Her? You mean the General? Yeah, during the war. If that's what you mean by way back. Can't say I know too much about her, though.
Better than anyone else on this ship. Just give me your opinion, okay? And don't laugh.
I'm trying to work here, Atten.
I was just wondering if you thought maybe she and I might...
You're being serious.
You said you wouldn't laugh.
You are being serious. Atten, she was a general. I was just a tech. Your guess is about as good as mine.
Well, what's your guess then?
I'm getting back to work.
Hey, I'm being serious here. You're laughing at me? I'll put you on the scrap heap, you walking tin can.
All I'm saying is that you've gone for a long time without a memory wipe. Most droids behave erratically under those circumstances. I know that, but I'm fixing everything else around here, so I may as well take a look at you too. What was that? That's what I'm talking about. That is not normal droid behavior.
Maybe he's just... What's going on here?
I am not pushing you around. I just wanted to see if there was anything I could do to upgrade your functionality.
Don't worry, Bowder probably knows what he's doing.
Thanks for the vote of confidence. Good. Now let's get started.
Oh, do they all have to
You
trigger
wouldn't guess
right
it from the outside, but it looks like you've been through a lot. I'll bet. I'm all done with you. If anything comes loose, let me know and I'll put it back in place.
Okay.
Well, now that we're off that Dejaric board of a planet, I say we burn sky until we see lines.
What is the machine? We seem to have found it.
Yeah, I'll skip over all the dialogue lines I've been through already. But the dialogue there, some of it was skipped over.
Do you know why we have...
What?
Is...
You're...
You...
Very...
Much to...
You...
Rev...
It... We...
I've...
We... Yet you...
What? No.
We...
No.
But she may...
And that is the future we must accept.
Those Jedi sure like their secrets, don't they?
A strange coincidence.
It is no coincidence. There is some larger plan at work here, and we are walking into it. This is too convenient to be anything but a trap.
General, is there a reason you don't carry a lightsaber?
So, this bugged the hell out. Nothing I can do about it.
That's not your lightsaber. You... Just bring the parts to me before you get started building it. I'll make sure they're usable.
Yeah. Well, just...
Betrayal. Machines. Her passion for such things defies me.
Won't take more than a minute.
All right, I'll work while you talk. All I'm saying is that you've gone for a long time without a memory wipe. Most droids behave erratically under those circumstances. Good. You wouldn't... I didn't want to talk about the war, but can I ask you something?
What is it?
Why did you decide to fight?
The Mandalorians had to be stopped.
I felt the same way. I remembered when word of the Mandalorian attacks arrived on Iridonia. My people had colonies across the Outer Rim. Many of them were among the first systems to fall.
As good of a reason as any for joining.
I did not join because I wanted to protect, though. I hated them. I wanted to destroy them. To give them the mercy they gave the people they conquered. I remember the thrill I felt when we fought them in battle. Victories were rare, but we celebrated every Mandalorian's death. Do you know how it felt?
Jedi are trained to resist such strong emotions.
I couldn't do that. It was almost as though the battle took control of me, drove me forward. It's always on my mind now. That loss of control blinded me, turned me into a weapon. I just needed to get that off my chest. Was there something you wanted me for?
Do you have any shields?
Sorry, General, I'm flat out. I'll see if I can make some more when I get a chance. Something else I can help you with?
Where did you pick up that remote anyways?
That old thing? I built him when I was a kid. Been following me around for years now, despite what I've done to try and chase him off. Hey, just kidding. I'm happy to have you around.
What does it do other than follow you around?
He helps me out with repairs. I outfitted him with a cutting laser and some other tools for delicate modifications. He's also good for singeing the pants of annoying techs. I've been thinking about doing some other work on him, but I barely have time. Too busy fixing up the ship. Something else I can help you with? Just working on the ship. I'm not sure who got her up and running, but I'm amazed she's even space-worthy. Whoever made these repairs doesn't think like most mechanics. But don't worry, I'll get everything in shape.
T3, you have been with us since Terrace. Without you, we would never have escaped that place. And for that, I thank you. I'm leaving this message inside you because I have seen glimpses of the future. And the bond that he and I share does not allow him to hide everything from me. More of his memories have returned, and they trouble him. He has remembered something. Something on the edge of the galaxy, and he believes that he must go there to end it. But I am afraid for him. Afraid that he may not return. I need you to be the beacon, T3. If he is lost out there, on the edge of the galaxy, if he finds whatever terrible thing he has seen, then he may not survive. If he doesn't make it back, then I need you to return to the Republic. Find help. If you cannot find me, then seek out other Jedi. The Republic, I can't lose him, even if he believes he is protecting me.
Well, Bastila, friend of yours? So this help you came in search of me. Okay. I understand. I didn't think you kept messages like that.
T3, I'm leaving this message more. I need you to. If he doesn't make it back.
Okay.
Something up? All right, what did you want to know?
Yes? That is something we will leave until we possess a lightsaber and a proper sparring partner. Very well. Very well. Of which did you wish instruction? It allows you to recover your strength with the Force more quickly, and it lends strength to your Force powers. It has no other drawbacks. Such a form is a gift, preferred of the Jedi consulars, and effective in combats where you must fight only through the Force. Very...
Kreia, what are you? Are you a Jedi, a Sith?
Does it matter? Of course it does. Such titles allow you to break the galaxy into light and dark, categorize it. Perhaps I am neither, and I hold both as what they are, pieces of a whole. Know that I am your teacher, and that is enough.
Then what were you?
What do you wish to hear? That I once believed in the code of the Jedi? That I felt the call of the Sith? That perhaps once I held the galaxy by its throat? That for every good work that I did, I brought equal harm upon the galaxy? That perhaps what the greatest of the Sith Lords knew of evil they learned from me? What would it matter now? There is only so much comfort in knowing such things, and it is not who I am now.
I still wish to hear your... If the past is as important as you claim, then I would hear yours.
There are dark places in the galaxy where few tread, ancient centers of learning, of knowledge, but I did not walk alone. To be united by hatred is a fragile alliance at best. My will was not law. There were disagreements, ambition, and hunger for power. There are techniques within the Force against which there is no defense. I was cast down, stripped of my power, exiled. I suffered indignities and fell into darkness. Learn from me, my mistakes, and use that knowledge to become greater than I. That is all I ask of you, and that is all I desire. In you all my hopes rest, for the future, for the Force. If it means so much to you, then this I swear to you upon my life, upon our lives, that when your training is complete, I will answer everything. There shall be no more shadows between us, only truth that exists between master and apprentice. Yes? Then ask, and I will do my best to answer. There is nothing wrong with my sight, if that is your question. I see all that I need, though the seeing of things flesh and blood has failed me some time ago. They were distractions only. There is nothing wrong with my eyes, they simply have atrophied from use. They are adequate to distinguish shapes, silhouettes. If need be, I could heal them, restore my sight, but sight can prove a distraction. When one relies on sight to perceive the world, it is like trying to stare at the galaxy through a crack in the door. But that is a lesson for another time. You must learn to see crude matter for what it is, before the veil is lifted. Ask. I know her as much as I know any Jedi. If you have other questions, you may ask those, but on Atris, I can provide you no answers that you cannot find on your own. Ask. Nothing more than we all... There is... Yes? The knowledge has already...
Unnecessary observation. Targets acquired. Annoying recitation. Let us proceed to facilitate communications. Recitation, and bring about the termination of hostilities.
I hear you.
You're good. Get tired of guess. You just was it?
So you've returned. While I was disturbed that you chose to defy our orders and obtain transport off Citadel Station, the matter has since been closed. It was the decision of Republic authorities that your testimony would no longer be necessary, and thus you'd be allowed to go. But as we discovered, you had already left. In some ways it was lucky for us, avoiding a possibly embarrassing situation. Why does the Republic do anything? The head doesn't know what the feet are doing. The hands don't even know they've got fingers, let alone where they are. My opinion, they probably performed their independent investigation and figured it wasn't your fault. Anyways, you should just be glad I decided to overlook the fact you escaped arrest. Yeah. And if there's nothing else, I've got a job to do. What is it? I see. And where and when did you kill them? I see. Well, you certainly earned the bounty on those two dangerous criminals. Here it is. I think you'll find the amount more than adequate. The TSF once again thanks you for your cooperation.
You know, I'm glad I found you again, General. We were together at Malak. I don't know if anyone else could understand. You getting philosophical on me? I'm here because you found me on Telos and I decided to come along for the ride. Not that I had much choice after we got going. Tired of me already? I was frustrated. Watching the Ithorians getting pushed around by Zerka, I thought I could make a difference, but it was taken away from me. Guess if one planet was good enough for me, why not the galaxy? You might not be looking, but maybe it'll happen along the way. Was there something you wanted me for?
Yes.
Good to see you again. Have you already heard about Zerka's operations on Telos? I would hope so. Yes,
I simply do not have time for you. My hands are full with trying to manage the restoration project without the aid of a droid intelligence, which you so...
Para. Look at him.
Well, here we are, the Smuggler's Moon. It's the gaping maw of Nar Shaddaa, swallowing all the cargo and spaceport thugs the galaxy has to offer. Mandalorians, mercenaries, war veterans, and pilots from the Mandalorian Wars and the Jedi Civil War ended up on Nar Shaddaa, from all sides of the conflict. When the last war ended, there was no place left for them to go. Nar Shaddaa's a rough place and easy to get lost in. Or for someone to get lost. If we wanted to keep out of sight from the Sith for a while, you couldn't pick a better spot. It means glorious jewel in Huttese, but don't let that fool you. It's the central breeding grounds of the Hutts. Nar Shaddaa orbits it. Nar Shaddaa's as slimy as the Hutts. Lots of swamp and bloated gas. It's where those slugs reach out and grab chunks of the galaxy. Trust me, we're not going to go anywhere near the place unless we want to be washing the stink out of our clothes for the next few years. Anyone flying the Star Lanes has docked on Nar Shaddaa at least once. I wouldn't want to live there, and I doubt anyone does by choice. Well, not everyone who came to Nar Shaddaa were soldiers. A lot of worlds were destroyed by the Mandalorians, and the Jedi. Left a lot of people wandering the galaxy. Yeah, some came looking for work running freight and cargo. Still, there's only so many ships to go around and so many workers, so others lend their weapons to the Hutts in the exchange. It's become a prime base for raider recruitment across the galaxy. It won't be easy. There's so much traffic on Nar Shaddaa, finding anyone on the moon's surface is going to be hard. We're going to touch down in the refugee sector. There's a lot more traffic there, and it's harder for people to spot you coming in, or find you once you arrive. Shouldn't be too hard. There's so much traffic on Nar Shaddaa, finding anyone on the moon's surface is gonna be hard. We're gonna touch down in the refugee sector. I've plotted a course for the refugee sector and we should touch down within the hour. Once we're down, we should finally be able to breathe easy. There's no way anyone's gonna find us here.
You have heard that the Jedi comes to Nar Shaddaa. While she walks upon the smuggler's moon, she is not to be harmed. Observe her, track her, but do not eclipse her movements, or I shall eclipse yours. You must, because one Jedi attracts others. It is the way of things.
Dawachosimu poindorakawa ichirendumu paramakawana abawasi. Yukrorenwan mapusi.
Honto no saka, jita bedwana maticha, kichu no kada mirenito. Renfiloso ni heku chupanaret.
Taranamosibu indasarans, cremasun. Bomababe want to susintu mukarata. Tu esfrektonatada beer mabar chokto. Torenibu inturata sisim.
Request. If Goto's vessel is no longer neutral ground, inform us so that we might initiate assassination protocols and commence firing at once.
Kavadumpe masuraku, kichu no kada mirenito.
Observation. Jedi follow the self-destructive path of pacifism and tolerance. They will not attack first.
Ah, the beautiful stench and decay of desperate living.
This moon, it teems with life. It is difficult to center oneself.
Welcome to Nar Shaddaa. Towering buildings kilometers high and miles deep, with canyons so wide you could have a dogfight in them. Word of warning, watch where you step, or you'll fall for hours. Sure, most of the landing pads around here are unclaimed, or should be. They're pretty badly maintained, so they're not safe to land on. Well, I mean, not this one. But they all have the reputation, so we should be all right. I think. Maybe a little, but landing here means we didn't have to transmit our ID signature. You know what trouble that always brings. In fact, while we're here, we should get those signatures changed. Wouldn't make us such a target when we enter a new system. No, but I forgot to tell them we were landing. The refugee sector's a dead zone. No one cares too much who flies in and out of here as long as they're not carrying cargo that the Exchange or the Hutts might want a piece of. Yeah, in all its glory. Don't get your hopes up from what you see here, though. As soon as we hit the main sector, that's when the smell and the mobs can get pretty bad. All right then, let's move out. Where are we headed exactly?
It does not matter where we go. If what we seek is here, we shall come upon it in due time.
Yeah, if you want to stay on the ship and meditate some more, don't let us stop you.
Finding a Jedi, or anyone else touched by the Force here, will be difficult. The mass of people, the rush of their emotions. It makes detection difficult. But this moon does not get any smaller while we wait. This sector is as good as any place to begin our search, so let us begin.
Well, if we're gonna search a moon of a few billion inhabitants for one Jedi that even our own can't sense, might as well start as soon as possible. Then just being here should be enough. People in the refugee sector don't tend to ask too many questions. We should be safe enough. Well, that means finding either a bounty hunter, a ranking member of the Exchange, or someone willing to talk, none of which are too appealing. Bounty hunters in the Exchange are going to want to shoot you, and someone who is willing to talk to anyone, which means trouble.
The bounty is a waste of our efforts. All that matters is the Jedi. The intentions of the thugs of this moon are of no consequence.
It's up to you. There's bound to be someone in the sector willing to spill their guts for a credit or two. There should be a central trading hub up ahead. Their stock's probably not the best, but they may have some things worthwhile. Alright, if you have any questions, just ask. We should be able to leave the ship here as long as we want. No one supervises these landing pads anymore.
You there!
Uh-oh.
What's with you? Letting that piece of junk sink its struts into my landing pad! The problem is, you are on my landing pad. I got another ship coming in, and unless you want that piece of junk's hull crushed flat, you better move it. Got it? That's none of your business. All you need to know is that they're gonna be firing up their quad lasers if they find your ship squatting there when they arrive. Huh? My trash heap? Fine, land there. My trash heap's all that's keeping your ship from making the final plunge. And trust me, it won't be long in coming, I promise you. I got some visitors booked for your space, but I'm sure the two of you can work it out when they arrive.
My lightsaber. You've destroyed it. I yield, Master. It is as I heard through the Force. My life for yours. You must. The alternative is only another death, and I would rather die by your hands. I have nothing to offer you. Your strength is superior. It is as I felt.
Now I've seen everything. This woman, she's a Miraluka. I didn't think any were left in this part of the galaxy. I heard they had a colony on the Midrim, almost halfway between Onderon and Dantooine. Then, it wasn't there anymore. The whole planet was wiped out. Nothing left alive. No one knows why. Well, some of her wounds are pretty bad. Looks like she was already carrying her share of scars, though. I think she'll recover, yeah.
My life for yours. I am able to serve. If we enter battle, I will fight and die alongside you. I have not heard that question in some time. My flesh is healed, if that's the answer you seek. The scars are many and the cause is equally so. it is of no importance. I felt you, heard you through the Force. It was like a sound at the edge of hearing. And when I heard it, I found I could not ignore it. I serve my master. I am an emissary, a scout. My master was aware of a disturbance in the Force, but was unaware of its nature, of you. The disturbance is not something one feels from a living thing. There is little my master does not know, and that you eluded his sight for so long is significant. But I do not know why. You cannot. His vessel roams the borders of known space, and even I do not know where he travels. Until he calls for me. Even if I could lead you to my master, I cannot permit you to find him until you are ready. If I bring you before my master untested, without your potential realized, then you will be lost to me, and I cannot allow that to happen. It would be as if one brought fire to a paradise valley, shattered a cavern of rare crystal, or blinded a painter. I cannot, I will not. I would die first, and gladly, to preserve you, untouched, unharmed. Now that I have found you, I cannot sacrifice what I have found. You will meet my master. It is inevitable. I have seen it. And when you stand before him and realize what you face, you must be prepared. Until then, I must protect you, help you, until you are ready. There's a greatness in you. A greatness that does not stem from the Force. It stems from who you are. And if my master does not understand you, cannot see you, then perhaps there is hope for us all. But if you seek to survive, then you must understand why this is so. There is much I see my master cannot. I fear it is because of my nature, the nature of my race. My people spend their lives seeing the galaxy, the energy streaming off stars, the growth of life, all things touched by the Force. It is not a subject which I have spoken of since its destruction. I've heard tales of Malak. It is said that many of my people felt the end of the Mandalorian Wars from across the galaxy. But do not mistake me. I did not mean to draw comparisons between Katarr and Malak. My homeworld still exists. It is intact. I am not certain I did. I was there when the planet died. To see everything around you extinguished. It was as if I was blinded. It was as if the Force had been bled from the world. I imagine there are worse deaths, worse pain. But if there are, I do not know them. I was the only living thing remaining on the planet of Katarr. And my life, my agony, was a flicker in the darkness that was the planet. All that I had been connected to had been severed. Yes, but it was not survival. I still wonder what would have happened if I had died with the others. If perhaps perhaps there would have been some way to hide my presence from the galaxy. If only I had not felt that pain, that loss, as strongly as I did. But it could not be done. When the life was bled from the planet, and yet somehow I remained, my master came for me. He walked upon the surface of my dead world, and there, lying in the bodies of my race, he took me for his own, and he made me see. And for the first time I saw the galaxy, and I wished to die. To this galaxy, my world, absent the currents and spectrums of the Force, was nothing but crude matter, rock, flesh, emptiness. He showed the flickering of life on other planets, the mass of beings that swarm through the empty places of the galaxy. To see such creatures, disconnected from themselves, their world, their place in it, unable to see the currents and how they affected everything around them. He showed me to make me believe in his cause. He convinced me the galaxy, all life, must die. He fed upon its ugliness, its screaming, and in its place, he left silence. And where there was chaos, he brought stillness and order. It was not a thing done with machines or weapons. The Force is far more terrible, and it touches more lives than any machine can hope to slay. For everyone that feels the Force, strongly, deeply, each one feels and perceives it in their own way. You have strengths, whether you know it or not, and my master has his. His power is great, and it comes from hunger. He is a wound in the Force, more presence than flesh. And in his wake, life dies, sacrificing itself to his hunger. And those who feel the Force strongly are beacons to his hunger. My people, my planet, would have been attacked in time. It was inevitable. Yet we could do nothing about it. The Jedi, the last council of the Jedi, came to our world to meet in secret. They hoped that perhaps among our people, they could achieve the clarity to see what was striking them from the darkness of the galaxy. They succeeded, but only in bringing him from the outer regions. And Katarr, with my kind, with the Jedi upon its surface, could no longer be ignored. And my people died, and the Jedi died, and there was no one left, only me. They hoped to see the threat that had been stalking them, and they did. But they were unprepared for the magnitude of the threat. He cannot deny his hunger for long. And any gathering of Jedi is something he cannot long resist. And now that the Jedi are vanishing, I do not know what will happen. Perhaps he will grow strong enough to eradicate all life, merely with his presence. I will answer what I can. Forgive me, but before you go, I must ask. Why do you do this? Why do you seek to help me? Teach me. You must not do this. I cannot allow you to weaken yourself for me. So you say. but it is not something I have observed or seen. I remember little of my homeworld before I entered my master's service. It is not as it was. There is little left of such memories, or the planet itself. It is not a subject which I have spoken of since its destruction. It was not a thing done forever. His and they and he and I will answer. My life for your... I am prepared for whatever you wish to teach me. I understand now. I shall practice what you have taught me. My life. My life. I felt you, heard you through the Force. It was like a sound at the edge of hearing. I'm not familiar with the place you speak of. My master has not entered Republic space for some time, but there are others who may move more freely, who may have been responsible for such an act of destruction. There are many factions within the Sith, all seeking to take what little remains in the wake of the Jedi Civil War. Where one moves, it is not always known to the others. But their purpose is the same: the death of all Jedi, everywhere. They believe you are the last of the Jedi, and their hatred of the Jedi unites them. All their eyes are upon you, and it is a terrible, quiet darkness that pursues you. I will answer. My master did not cause the end of the planet you speak of. There are many factions where they... My people once had the power to perceive events, to see through the Force. That sight may manifest itself in many ways, and at times, I may affect the abilities of others to see as well. My sight has been damaged. What I have taught you, it is not the full extent of the perceptions of my people. My master, when he showed me my world, showed it to me as it is. It hurt. And since that moment, it has been difficult to perceive the Force as I once did. But after traveling with you, I feel that perhaps there was a gift in it, hidden beneath the pain. Only when one suffers do certain truths become evident, both of the galaxy and of the self. And I feel you are an example of this. If you wish to know, perhaps it is possible to show another what my people see, what I see. First, you must close your eyes. The surface of the ship, its sights, will only be a distraction. Now, in your mind, reach out. Listen for my breathing. Do not focus on the sound, but the life behind it. Imagine its energy, its texture, in tandem with the breathing. And then in your mind, step back from the image and see what remains. There, It is not as difficult as I thought. You learn quickly. It will take effort to maintain such sight, but you now have that power, and with it you can use it to see life around you in a different way, as I used to see it.
I don't know what it is, but you look different. It's hard to explain, but it's good to see. It shows. It's kind of inspiring, to be honest. Anyway, just wanted to mention it. I think the others have noticed it too. All right.
You have befriended the seer. Her species does not see as we do. They perceive the galaxy through the Force, and it is how she found you. It is a rare gift squandered on her people. The Sith carry the battle to you, and you spare them. And as we travel, the empty places of this ship are filled. I hope your thoughts in this matter are clear. If you take her on as a servant, know that the Sith meet their end at the hands of their apprentices. It is not something I would wish to happen to you. This one you have saved has other masters. Though blind, she has ties to darkness. Her presence here is a threat to us, to you. Do not underestimate her or her loyalty. Then you are learning. Did he? And what do you make of that? The Mandalorians were right to respect you on the field of battle. The Jedi are gone, vanished. Now, an entire planet of Force sensitives wiped clean of life. And now this slice of the galaxy is blind. It is no coincidence. The two events are tied. I fear you are right, and I fear it may prove more than that. War is a hunger, and there are spirits in the galaxy whose hunger is never satisfied. But there is little to be done about it now. Watch the seer carefully, she may reveal more. Ask. She did nothing to your eyes that was not already there. She has forced this upon you, but such crude methods are the markings of the Sith. Close your eyes. Feel this ship around you, the welding of the droid as it goes about its work. Now, stretch out. Hear the rumble of hyperspace, the hum of the hyperdrive. Ignore distractions and focus on my voice. The breathing of the blinded one as she meditates in the dark. Now, listen deeper, past her breathing, and listen.
As my feet walk from the ashes of Katarr, I shall not fear, for in fear lies death, and...
You are strong indeed. What you heard were surface thoughts only, but it is something that masters have trained for years and never learned. That is not the real question you should ask. Is such listening enough to perceive the world around you? It is not, because to listen to the thoughts of another is much like attempting to see the universe only with your eyes. It is equally limiting. Now leave me be. I must rest. You have grown strong in the Force. I can feel its touch upon you. Do not let the higher mysteries blind you to others. Turning away from that which tempts you or causes you fear is not strength. Facing it is. I have seen you display many acts of mercy, charity in our journey. Why? Even if it weakens those you help, even if it robs them of the strength needed to grow, you have been chased, hounded since our first meeting, and it has only made you stronger, more capable. Ah, then you have learnt nothing. From such small things, from such critical points, the universe and its masses may be moved. That is why you must be careful in all that you do, and in every choice you make. Aiding them gives you strength by taking on their challenges, but weakens them. If that is your choice, then use their dependency, feed upon it, until you have exhausted them. Then leave them. And I would view the ones you travel with much the same way. Ah, now you are learning. Do you know why those we meet display such weakness? As I said, their lives are static, untested. It is only through interaction, through decision and choice, through confrontation, physical or mental, that the Force can grow within you. You have seen it. You have felt it within you as you have traveled with me. The growing anger, the rage, and the power it brings. Yet the power does not build without such struggle. Through small cruelties, greater ones are born. Ask. He, if he can truly be called a man any longer, is one of the dark lords that pursues you. I do not think he knows what you are. Not yet. He spared the Miraluka, and that may have been the last shred of feeling that exists within him. Keep his slave close to you. I suspect there was a reason he spared her, and perhaps a reason that she survived when the rest of her people and the Jedi did not. Perhaps he is bound to her, as I am bound to you. If so, there may be a death served by hers. You must be prepared to sacrifice the blinded one. Perhaps her death will buy you the time you need to deal with her master. If you have such power, then I would make use of it. There is no need to dirty your hands when you can convince another to drive a blade into their own heart. Oh, you have promise. But wait until you have more years fall upon you, and you will see what a shell your heart will become.
Yes, Jim? Let me see what you have. No, you're still missing a lens. Something else I can help.
My life for yours. I will. It is not a.
Yes? When I spoke of sight before, there is a similar handicap that tends to occur among those strong in the Force. They neglect their skills. Some believe they no longer need them. The greatest wielders of the Force are those that maintain some grounding to the more physical realities of the universe. Some wielders of the Force have mastered piloting, others the ability to fix and repair and build, from simple moisture vaporators to more complex machines such as droids and vehicles. One's ability to understand the human body and its ailments, for example, can make your powers within the Force more complete, more powerful, when you attempt to repair the cellular damage of another. And others have mastered the more subtle work of politics, persuasion. Do not doubt that a galaxy may be conquered with words, a republic overthrown, and an empire made. When such skills are honed, one's abilities with the Force become that much stronger. My warning to you is this: do not rely on your companions to compensate for your weaknesses in skill. There will be times they will not be there to help you when needed. What skill would you say is your greatest strength? And what skill would you say is your greatest weakness? Then my task before you is this: take your greatest weakness, devote effort to it, strengthen it, and I will show you how it shall strengthen your power in the Force. As you learn and train and test yourself against the galaxy, all your skills have a chance to improve and grow as well. When you devote some of that training to your weakest skill, you will know. Yes? Ask. And? Because it was its time? Perhaps you should ask her. It begs many questions. Her people are not prone to violence, war, or hatred, yet their planet is obliterated, scoured from the face of the galaxy, and all that remains is a Sith. The Jedi are gone. But does it matter? Of course it does. Perhaps I am neither. What, that for every... learn... if it means so much to you. Yes. There is nothing more that I can teach you now. Wait until you have grown in the Force, and we shall see what more knowledge I can impart.
My life.